On a quiet street in a small town, there lived a young man named Daniel. He was talented in many ways. He could sing, write, and fix just about anything, but he always felt like he was wandering without a purpose. Despite trying different jobs and hobbies, Daniel always ended up back where he started, feeling lost and uncertain. One day, while cleaning out his late grandfather's attic, Daniel stumbled upon an old wooden box. Inside was a rolled-up blueprint, the edges yellowed with age. The title at the top read, "The Plan." Curious, Daniel spread it out on the table. It wasn't a blueprint for a building or a machine, it was something else entirely. Strange symbols, arrows, and handwritten notes filled the page. In one corner, his grandfather had written, "Follow this, and you'll find what you're looking for." Intrigued, Daniel decided to follow the blueprint's instructions. The first step was clear: go to the oak tree by the river. That oak tree had been his favorite childhood spot, a place where he and his grandfather used to fish. When he arrived, he found a small box buried in the roots. Inside was a note: "Help Mrs. Whitaker fix her roof." Mrs. Whitaker was an elderly widow who lived nearby. Her roof had been leaking for months, and though Daniel wasn't a professional, he knew enough to make basic repairs. He spent the next few days patching her roof. In return, Mrs. Whitaker baked him pies and shared stories from her youth. One of her stories was about how her husband used to build schools for underprivileged children. Her words planted a seed in Daniel's heart. The next step on the blueprint directed him to a local community center. There, he discovered they needed volunteers to renovate the building. Without hesitation, Daniel joined the team, using his skills to repair and repaint. While working there, he met a group of passionate people dedicated to helping the homeless. Their determination inspired him. Over the next few weeks, Daniel followed more steps on the blueprint. Each task seemed small: helping a neighbor, volunteering at a shelter, teaching kids how to build birdhouses, but each one connected him with people who shared their struggles and dreams. He realized that these experiences weren't random, they were shaping him, revealing his talents and purpose. The final step on the blueprint read, "Look in the mirror." Confused, Daniel went home and stood in front of his bathroom mirror. For a moment, he saw nothing unusual. But then it hit him: every task, every person he had helped, had been a piece of a larger plan. He wasn't just wandering anymore, he was part of something bigger. As Daniel looked at his reflection, he remembered something his grandfather used to say: "God's plans are like a blueprint. You may not see the whole picture, but every step has a purpose." From that day on, Daniel embraced his new path. He started a non-profit to repair homes and community centers for those in need. Whenever someone asked how he found his calling, Daniel smiled and said, "I just followed the blueprint." Little did they know, the blueprint was more than just a map, it was a reminder that God had a plan for Daniel all along. And if God had a plan for him, he surely had a plan for everyone else too.